What if you could instantly enter the conversation inside of your ideal customer's mind when they search for your type of business or service on Google to the point where it feels like you read their mind? Well, you can't necessarily do that with AI, but Google gives you the next best thing, which is dynamic keyword insertion. So here's how to do it and level up your ads. So timestamps below, along with some other helpful links and resources, including a link to our Google Ads playbook to help you with the entire process of writing out your ad headlines. So here's an example of some of the ad headline formulas we like to use. And as you use these headline formulas, you always want to write out your headlines before jumping into the ads interface. And so you'll notice with one of these, of course, we're going to talk about results, roadblocks, benefits of our offer, just be descriptive with our offer, identify who our ideal customer is. But then one of these you'll see has squiggly lines, and this is going to be dynamic keyword insertion. So when it comes to setting up dynamic keyword insertion, we'll go through detailed on how to do that. You essentially just put some squiggly brackets in, and Google's going to detect that. You go through a couple settings, give them a default headline, and you're good to go, right? So that's the super short version. Anyway, we'll go through that in more detail. For now, here's an example of how this winds up working. So let's say someone is searching for Facebook ads management. And in our campaign, we have the keyword Facebook ads manager. Well, when our ad shows up and they're looking at all the different ads that showed up for Facebook Ads Management Company, our ad headline can say Facebook Ads Manager. And so is it exactly what they typed in? No, but it's very, very close. And this is also why it's so important to use very tightly related keywords in your ad groups so that you can use techniques like these to really have your ad headline stand out and be very specific to whoever's doing the search. And as cool as it would be if we could put their exact search phrase into our headline, it probably wouldn't work out too well, especially if they misspelled something. And even Google isn't that creepy, so at least we know they have a line somewhere. So let's go ahead, jump into the next part, which is you can actually add phrases in front or behind the keyword. So here's some examples of phrases you might add in front or behind your keyword. Of course, you could easily spend hours on this, but I recommend just set a timer for like 20, 30 minutes when you're writing your headlines for the first time and you're using this technique. And then after that, just say, okay, whatever I have is good enough. It's enough for Google to test, because you could really get overly obsessive using this. And so here's some examples of what these might look like. And of course, all these phrases are really short, because if for whatever reason your search phrase is too long for the headline, then Google's just going to use the default that's inside those squiggly line brackets. And so let's go ahead, jump into the interface, and I'll show you quickly how to actually set this up. So we're looking at our ads right here, right? So let's say we've gone in, we've already done our keywords, we're ready to start working on our ads. And then under the headline, we can just click headline here. We'll click and we'll enter the squiggly bracket, and then Google will say, oh, you're trying to do the squiggly bracket. You can also do these inside of descriptions, by the way, but I think that's just way too much work. And we'll go and click on keyword insertions. We'll select title case. And then in here, we can go ahead and put in our default headline. So if for whatever reason, dynamic insertion doesn't work because there's too many characters, or it just doesn't trigger because Google doesn't feel like it, then this is the headline that will show up instead. And once we have that, we can go ahead and click on apply. And then you can also optionally come in here, click this little pin icon, and then you could say only show in position 1. And so that way, when their keyword's being inserted, it always shows up in position 1. This is one of the few times where you probably want to do this with your first round of ad testing. And that's simply because it will probably make way more sense for their keyword to be in front versus like the last part of their phrase, right? Especially if you're following our keyword formulas in that Google Ads playbook linked up in the description, it's going to be a lot easier and make a heck of a lot more sense to whoever's actually seeing your ads. And with that, you're all set writing compelling ads using dynamic keyword insertion. Make sure you check out that link in the description to the Google Ads playbook that has all of our copywriting formulas and a very simple process to actually figure out what on earth to put in the rest of your ad in addition to this awesome technique. So hit that like button, subscribe for more Google Ads tutorials just like this one, and until the next, keep building the business you love.